This is one of those where I'm not even entirely sure what dinosaur they were going for when they made this, if indeed they were going for a dinosaur. But I believe it to be a Scelidosaurus because of, their spikes, and because that's probably the dinosaur with this particular form of spikes that we've known about for this long. The first problem I see with it is that they have turned it into a carnivore. You see this a lot with this particular dinosaur because usually the method they use to make it is to, have a big hole in the front and it's hollow in the middle, and they have, the carnivorous teeth around the outside of it. But there's no excuse in this case to give it essentially a Postosuchus head. That said, you can't really go wrong with archosaur heads. There wasn't that much variation in the, the basal form. If you have that sort of crocodile shape where it's a triangle on top and a square on the side, and it's longer than it is wide and it's wider than it is tall, then you can't go very far wrong. So aside from the teeth and aside from the fact that it's giant for this animal, it's not too inaccurate, because this was a basal form of the armored dinosaurs like Stegosaurus and Ankylosaurus and all that were not descendants but sort of nieces and nephews of this particular dinosaur. This would have been early Jurassic. That it didn't have the beak yet. Like it had the predent bone down in the jaw here, but it hadn't developed into a snipping tool yet. It lacks the sort of archosaur characteristic going into the head. Like, really, the back legs should be straight and the back legs should be longer. That's actually where the dinosaur gets its name. When Richard Owen described it, that should tell you how long ago it was discovered that Richard Owen described it himself. He wanted to name it after the long hind limb, but he ended up accidentally calling it rib of beef lizard, because even with all the species he named and genre he named, Greek must not have been his strong suit. So back legs should be longer, they should be straight, they should be underneath the animal. You can see it's sort of got that half crocodilian posture that you see in a lot of quadrupedal toys, which, that's the entire dinosaur thing, is that their legs were underneath them. That's why they were so successful as animals, because their locomotion was much better than anything else that was around at the time. So straighten the legs, put them under the creature, make the pelvis parallel to the ground, because it's an ornithischian from the Greek. I keep saying ornithischian because that's what I said my entire life, but it's ornithischian. Straighten the tail, make the osteoderms a little less pronounced. They weren't exactly, triangular spikes jutting out of it. Straighten the forelimbs as well. This had rather long forelimbs proportionally to its hind limbs, especially compared to like Stegosaurus or what have you, but they still would have had to be straight to carry the animal properly. And give it the proper number of toes. For really any later ornithischian, this would be accurate, but this particular one had 4 on every foot. Like, it was none of that little vestigial 4th toe on the back legs. It was a full 4th toe. I suspect that was everything I wanted to cover. Thank you for watching. This has been Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong. Please like, comment, and subscribe, or even go to thegeekgroup.org so you can find out how you can become a member and donate, and we'll see you next time.
This video was made possible by a grant from the Future Girl Foundation.
This video was made possible by thousands of private donations from members and viewers like you. Please visit thegeekgroup.org for more information on how you can donate and become a part of our dreams of Avalon.